Alright, so I just wanted to take a minute and kind of add something about C-clip eliminators. This 10 bolt rear end here is an 8.5 coming out of a Nova. It's an early 70s. And I'm adding the C-clip eliminators and a spool for a guy. Spool's over here, everything, all my stuff. I've already did my pattern, but when you put the C-clip eliminators in, you got to put some RTV Ultra Black around the back side, so you do that last. But what I was going to kind of point out is this is the cut end piece here. When you take the original stock one, you're going to take the drums off. I've got a drum here that's painted up, and it's just the back side that's loaded. Then you're going to have your axles pressed on. These are the actual C-clip eliminators. They take place of the actual C-clip inside. The end of these here have the groove for the C-clip, and after you have those pressed on with a machine chop, it's got a certain distance, like 2 5/8, unless you got a G-body. The hardware's down there next to it in the bag, and the backing plate here is going to go back on the rear end. And once you cut off the flange, you'll just take and measure from the back of the flange, which is, this is the flange here, you cut out 1/8 of an inch. Some of them have like a little lip on them, and all you're doing is, after you put the backing plate on, it's just going to sit right here on the part, and it's hard to see, but that little lip is coming out just a little bit past, it's kind of like a locator type spot, but the holes here will line up, and your bolts are going to bolt through the back side of the flange, come through the backing plate, and then they're going to go right into the holes that are thread on the back of this. And then this piece here, as you bolt this up to the vehicle, these here are what the axle will ride on, and they just spin around. It's kind of hard to hold this like that, but if I held that still, I could turn, and then the bearing would turn inside. But these are the grade 8 hardware I have to bolt in the back. You slide the axles into the spool, and I'll just show you kind of what it would look like. I use like a sawzall hacksaw combo, and this is the cut snout. This is what's on the end of here originally. Like this much will come off. The bearing actually, sits inside this piece with a seal, and that rides on the end. What you're doing is removing this bearing here, and then you're going to be using the C-clip eliminators that have a bearing inside. So that little bit of flange for the 1/8 inch, it's the back side of this C-clip eliminator's got a small groove, and then that can fit into that just a little bit, but you're going to be putting RTV around this whole perimeter when you slide it in and bolt it, so that it doesn't have any gear oil leaking out. There's another guy had a video, but I'm just kind of like explaining exactly how you're doing what you're doing. Maybe it'll help somebody that's looking for information. That's what it'll look like when you cut it off. And you just want to deburr, and I ground this. Make sure this is nice and square as much as you can. Clean off the edges, file it. Do the best you can with that. And hopefully that'll help your C-clip eliminator swap out, whether it be on a 10 bolt or 12 bolt or either one.